Good evening. I'm going to call the September 13th, 2022 Finance Meeting to order. Councilmember Jessica Brennan is present. Councilmember Bill McPartland. Councilmember Jason Moskowitz. Town Attorney Elena Finnan. Town Comptroller Elizabeth Greenwood. Assistant to the Comptroller Janet Wynn. We also have Ray Smith, Michelle Martinelli, Matt Yetto, Eric Amberger, Chief Koshin, and Seth Goldstein. Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the August 9th, 2022 Finance meeting.
Motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any changes to the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. We'll move on to the items for action.
Okay, starting with item A, a resolution releasing the funds budgeted to purchase 2890 River Road. Those funds were set aside in an assigned fund balance since that property has been purchased from someone else and will not be purchased by the town. We'd like to release those back into fund balance with 40,000 of it being released to Capital Project H03 for the Avon Crest Tennis Courts. Item B is a resolution to purchase a replacement plotter / large format scanner for the engineering and planning departments. The old one is unfortunately not functioning and we can no longer get parts for it as it is obsolete.
So do we have budget money for that in a line of equipment, or
We do have.
we do? Okay.
Okay, item C is a resolution appropriating general fund balance to repay Policemen for funds previously forfeited. Unfortunately, Laura is not here to speak to this. There was a funding line being held, awaiting work to be completed. The work was not completed for a decade, so the funds were considered forfeit.
2 decades.
Okay, 2 decades. It was a while. So there was a board resolution that forfeited those funds. The work has now been completed and signed off. But because the funds were forfeit to fund balance, the only way we can actually repay this builder is to take it back out of fund balance. So
20 years later?
not quite 20. I think it was from 07 originally, wasn't it?
There was one from 01 and one from 07. I always get the two confused. Our auditors had taken issue with the fact that we were holding funds for some. Sorry. Our auditors had taken issue with the fact that we were holding, they're called letters of credit or a collateral guarantee, and wanted us to start forfeiting that money back to the town because the work wasn't being done. And the last time this had happened, we had 19,000 and change for a generator. And when that work finally got done, the generator cost us 70,000, roughly $70,000. So this process needs to be expedited and sped up. And we've had that conversation with the supervisor, and we're working towards holding more accountability to the department. Like, these developers have to do this work, or
Absolutely.
Who-
It seems strange to me that we're refunding, we're giving them that money. Who did they do the work?
Yes.
apparently they did the work. Well, we forfeited that money. We took that money back in 2019 per our auditors. And now all of a sudden the work mysteriously got done. They did it. Matt and Laura reviewed it and were happy with the work that was done. And so now the guy wants his money back.
Because this has come up in a couple other situations.
Yes, it has.
Not 20 years, but 3 years.
Mhm.
So we have asked Laura to, when she's doing these now, she had to put stipulate a time frame that the work needs to be done within this time frame, or a committee is going to review it and we're going to determine whether or not we need to take on more funds and how long it's going to go. So we're not in this situation. We still have old projects out there. We still have one, I think, from 2001.
Thank you, Janet.
You're welcome.
I was just gonna say that the reason we have to refund it too is because we don't have any proof the proper notice was given to the developer or the person doing the work that we were going to forfeit if they didn't do X, Y, and Z within a certain period of time.
So we should have given them proper notice that those monies were going to be
Yes.
used or taken out, if you didn't do the work. Okay.
And we have had conversations internally to develop improved processes so that this does not happen in the future. Good evening.
Okay. Item D is a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign the WRE contract. Item E is a resolution to refund the property owner of 257 Park Ridge for a charge incurred through an administrative error. And Matt brought to my attention that there was a typo here. It should be $623.53. So that amount needs to be amended. But same process. Item F is a resolution to adjust the purchasing policy to increase the amount requiring finance approval for repairs to $6,501 so that it same amount that is required for purchase. For some reason, the purchase amount had been increased years ago, but not the repair amount. And we've run into several issues recently, especially for Matt's various pieces of equipment, specifically pumps and whatnot, where if he were to purchase a new one, he could do that without finance approval, but he can't repair it without finance approval. So it's just adding a layer of bureaucracy and slowing him down from fixing things. So all we wanted to do with this is make the repair amounts the same as the purchase amounts in those two portions of the purchasing policy. Item G is a resolution to call for a public hearing to correct the properties assigned to the incorrect sewer district. We had discussed this last month, and it was just that back in 1978, when they shifted a section of what had been Sewer 1 to now being part of Sewer 6, that was just not administratively accounted for, and that's what we would like to do here. Item H is a resolution to appropriate $23,915.89 from fund balance to cover budget shortfall for Sewer 1 serial bond principal. The budget did not account for the full amount that we need to pay in bonding for that fund, so we need to do this. Item I is similar. It's a resolution to appropriate $15,036.67 from fund balance to cover budget shortfall for Sewer 6 serial bond. Both principal and interest were budgeted less than what they needed to be. That is all of the resolutions. Moving on to item J, we're looking for finance approval for the annual Munis software support. That amount is $6,043.98.
Okay, let's call for a vote. Approval for the annual Munis software support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Approval of Revise as the new website vendor at a cost of $4,700.
Before we vote, Seth will be coming up to speak to us a little bit about the plan.
Okay. So as we all know, our website is not the most user-friendly for the residents nor the employees. There are significant features that are missing, like being able to pay for permits, submit permit applications, that type of stuff directly from the website. I found a vendor that meets the budgetary abilities that we have. Went through about 5 different vendors getting quotes, and some of them were astronomical, like $80,000 the first year and then $6,000 every year after that. This one is reasonable. We were going to try to do it before the end of the year. I just don't see it being feasible, just because of the sheer volume of pages. There's about 400 pages and a couple hundred documents that have to get moved, and I have to tell them, yes, this document has to get moved, this one doesn't. I have to approve website designs and layouts, and I don't want to rush this process because this is the internet face of the town. So it'd be like remodeling the front of the building, in 3 months. You just don't do it that way. So I'd like to get approval to move forward, but I don't know whether or not we should do that this month. At the earliest fiscally, I'm looking at potentially June or July. If not, it's going to go to the end of next year, and starting July 1st of 2024, we will have a new website. That's up to you, ladies and gentlemen, or council people. So does anybody, I know I invited a couple of you, and I know some of you watched the videos of the presentation. Does anybody have any questions?
So the 47 on the agenda for this evening is for what? Or you're not recommending that at this time?
I am recommending it. It's the annual cost for that vendor to host and design and maintain our website. Currently, we are paying just over $4,000. For the basic, for what we have now, the new vendor would be $3,500, but we're going to be adding the ability to do online forms and take payments on the website, which is an add-on that costs $900. So that's where we
I think
get
that's a
to
good
the.
thing. I think one of the things that, at least for myself and some other people have said about the website, is it needs to be more current. It isn't getting updated enough.
It does get updated, but the problem is you couldn't tell when it gets updated. Like a lot of times
Sometimes I
we'll
don't
post,
think it's adding, I think it's more sometimes the information that's on there and that sort of thing, you know?
right,
Like
well,
events go by and we don't take them down, that sort of thing, just timing of things like that. And I'm
Well,
Which is
just-
one of the reasons we looked into.
right now it's very difficult. I've trained some of the staff to do their own portions of the pages, but it's very clunky. And even when they're trained, a lot of times they'll still have to come back to me to make changes, because you have to go one section of the website to adjust this menu. You can't granularly give people access to the main menu to change it. You can't let's say you upload the wrong version of an agenda, you can't even delete it. It stays there. You can still search for it. So
It needs a lot of work, and
Yeah.
appreciate you
Yeah.
trying to
Mhm.
get us to a
Yeah.
better place.
yeah, it's just not, it's been one of those things I haven't enjoyed for the last 2 years.
So, and to give some more context, Seth and I have been meeting and discussing this process for, several weeks now. And this morning, we really came to the conclusion that it would be better to have a longer rollout period to give everyone time to think about the design and transfer the information over. But I'm not clear with how you've discussed tonight. The approval for the funds would be for 2024 or mid-2023?
If I can get our current vendor to prorate us, it would be mid 2023. If not, it'd be 2024. Okay, I don't want to throw away money. Okay, so the problem is if we go past January 1st using the current vendor, they bill us for the whole year. So that was kind of why I was trying to rush to get this done. But the way I see it, by the time we get this all situated and start to do the transfer, we're already in October. So you've got all of October, November, and December, and I don't foresee this happening in that time frame.
So we're looking into speaking with both vendors to see if there might be an option to prorate.
Mhm.
And
So if they do go for that, then we'll be mid 2023, looking at probably July. If not, it'll be January 1st, 2024. Either way, if I can get them to prorate it, it's within the budget. If I have to wait, then it'll definitely be in the budget. So either way, we're okay with that. I just, I'd prefer to do it sooner rather than later, but I don't want to make an unforced error.
Right. And spend money you don't need to.
Correct.
so I think maybe we should vote on an approval at the next finance meeting when we have a little bit more information about the prorating.
Yeah, and if they don't prorate, then we're probably going to have to push the approval off, because I don't know who's up for election. If anybody changes, I don't want to run into the same issue we have with the phone system where we have to wait till the next board or whatever. I'll just bring it up at that point.
It worked out okay,
Yeah.
the phone. I know, gave you a little.
I know, I'm still
gave you
shell-shocked.
some gray hair, but it worked out okay.
I'm still shell shocked, but I
All right,
Um,
thank you. Okay, so we'll table this for now until we get some more information.
Unless you think that you need this evening
Right.
to, as you know, more incentive, if you will, for the company to
I don't-
prorate. I don't know.
I don't foresee the new company having a problem with it. I foresee the old company because they'll be
Agreed.
losing out on money. So, which I have inquiries into both companies already for that, but I haven't gotten a response. And I just wanted to go back to, which one was it? The plotter. Bill, you had asked whether it was in the budget. Yes, it was budgeted for last year, for this year,
Great.
because it's
Thank
been
you.
a problem for multiple years.
We saw that coming.
Thanks, Seth.
Thank you, Seth.
Okay, item L is approval to purchase a new parks trailer for $3,500.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a vote. All those in, did you have something to add? I'm sorry. Approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you.
All right, M is approval to purchase a new highway trailer, $81.95.
Is this finance or just under resolution?
Actually, that would need a resolution. I think we had been waiting on amounts for that. So my apologies, that one needs to go to resolution.
Thank you.
Yep. Approval to pay for the Knott Street East painting of stripes, which was $3,600.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Any opposed? Okay, that is approved.
Okay, we need approval to pay for the secondary sludge pump maintenance.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved.
Okay, approval to pay for a grit pump maintenance.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That is approved.
Okay, and did we get the second?
Yes, so
Okay.
I received a quote.
Matt, you got one.
Because when I do minutes, I can't hear.
So that approval is not necessary. The aeration tank valve came in at far less than we expected, so it's within my authority, so we don't need, okay? Thank you.
You can
Thank
still
you.
tell us the amount, Matt.
$1,600.
That's great.
Thank you.
That is a finance miracle. Something came in underpriced. All right. Item R, a discussion regarding certain budgetary modifications. And as I mentioned last month, and I will continue to say this as we get through the last quarter of the year, you'll see a lot more budget mods each month, just as we're kind of moving things around to ensure that we can meet all of the bills. All right. Then item S was a discussion regarding properties not assigned to the correct lighting districts. When we started the discussion about lighting districts and we started mapping them, we realized that there are properties that should be within lighting districts that for some reason are not included. So we will be putting together those maps for everyone to see at a later date, just so you're aware. Item T, a discussion regarding a request for proposal, request for proposal for our grant writing support. We did have Sue Lombardi previously. She wrapped up, as I'm sure everybody's aware, at the beginning of July. We do not currently have a grant writer that we're working with. So we've had a couple of times recently where we were just simply not able to get information put together timely enough to get grants submitted. What we're currently seeing with a lot of the grants is when they finally give the date of the grants are due X date, it's often 2 to 4 weeks out. So if you are not in the loop as a grant writer, or these folks kind of know when to anticipate that, for the rest of us who are lay people, we simply can't get the information pulled together quickly enough to meet those deadlines. So I think it would certainly be in our best interest in the current timeframe with as much infrastructure related money that is coming down from the federal government. If we had a grant writer, I think we might be able to better take advantage of that, and it would be worth considering. So. The next one was a discussion regarding an RFP for support updating the comprehensive plan for the town, and the supervisor wanted to speak to that, I believe.
Yes, I've been doing some review of what other municipalities are doing with regard to their comprehensive plan, and I'd like us to consider putting together an RFP to get additional support. Okay.
Okay, I'm not aware of anything referred from public safety, okay, since his meeting. From Public Works, we had several things come up after the Public Works Committee meeting. We will now need a resolution to appropriate $20,000 from fund balance to cover budget shortfalls for Water One. This is specific to the chlorine line. The price of chlorine has gone up astronomically, and we simply do not have enough money in the budget to cover the cost of chlorine this year. Item B is a resolution to appropriate $6,000 from fund balance to cover budget shortfall for Sewer 6, specific to sludge removal.
Can we just discuss how those numbers were identified, the 20,000 and the 6,000? Is this going to be enough to get us through the year?
We believe so. We were working with Matt and his staff to kind of see how much we've spent so far and just kind of project forward through the end of the year what we think our needs are going to be. And if this ends up being more than what we need, it will roll back into fund balance. We tried to get it as close as we could, but without needing to ask for more again later.
Thank you.
Item C is a resolution to appropriate $10,897.19 from fund balance to cover budget shortfall for Sewer 6 chemicals as well.
Portion of that is also chlorine.
Yes, yes, more chlorine plus other chemicals. So chlorine is an ongoing challenge this year for everyone. Item D is a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a contract regarding the installation of drainage piping on Holly Hill Road not to exceed $34,985. Do you want to speak to that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this project came up, we were waiting for numbers before the Public Works meeting, and they came in a little bit later. We want to install a hydrant, automatic flushing hydrant at the end of Holly Hill, which is in the agenda for the purchase of that equipment. But in order to have that system work, you also need to have drainage to drain the water away when you're flushing. The topography in the area and lack of drainage does not allow for flushing without having extra pipe or extra hose laid out, and it's not feasible. And due to the extent, how far away that portion of the town is from the source, it's a way to maintain proper chlorine levels and to keep the iron levels down in the water. So it would be hiring a contractor to install, even though it's drainage, it's really for the purpose of water quality. I have one quote. I was waiting for a second quote, and I should have a second quote this week. I do not expect the dollar amount that's mentioned on here. I do expect to be the low one, but I'm still waiting on a second. Two. Yeah. Good. All right, thank you.
Okay, I don't believe there's anything else that was referred from transportation. Nope. Okay, community programs was also good, and economic development. Did you have anything additional? Okay, then that concludes the finance agenda.
Thank you. Okay, that's all we have on tonight's finance meeting agenda. At this time, I make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, we stand adjourned, and we'll move on to our agenda committee meeting next. 5 minutes.